starting soon thing up instead of just having a screen with me being silent for a couple minutes. It's fine. I have to turn the cooling pad on my laptop so it doesn't explode. Look at the pretty birdies. Ooh. Okay, and now we pick up the microphone from where I've carelessly discarded it to make room for the laptop's cooling pad. I wonder if the fans will be picked up.
Doc, Hallmark.
They are being picked up, but that's fine. A better fan in the background than the new laptop, you know? Okay. Oops. We've got birds. We've got colors. We've got too many programs open, so this is running kind of slow. Do I need all of these? I do. Interesting. I will try. Wait, is my voice coming through? Did I break it? I will try to be loud enough for the microphone. I probably won't succeed because I am going to forget it's there the second I come to any sort of problem, and the best I can do is just to have it pointed vaguely at my face. I will try to be loud enough for the microphone. Okay, so we've got birds, we've got colors. The birds, if you look at the birds, they've got genes. Look, they have capital F, capital F. Their name is Fig. Capital F makes them homozygous for brown. And over here we have cherry. They're little f, which makes them homozygous for fawn. The colors don't match the correct genetic naming conventions, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. I got attached to them, and then I decided to make fawn recessive instead of dominant. So, and I'm not changing them to capital BR. That looked bad. I did it and I didn't like it. And also I kept forgetting what they stood for, so we're just back to this. Can't see my own genes because I haven't made a menu for that, but I probably should. Because if I can make it for the... Yeah, I should. That's a later problem. I think I'm heterozygous for brown, but there's homozygous for brown, but there's no way of knowing. And anyway, it doesn't matter because so slow, so many programs open. Oh, we can only handle 5 birds just because I have Streamlabs and Discord and a YouTube video open. Ridiculous. Okay, but what we're focusing on is sprite sheets, because currently we have sprite sheets for their colors and their line art, and that's attached. We've got it so that they have genes based off of the genes list, and then based off of their genes they get a phenotype, and then based off of that phenotype decides which colors on the sprite list they get. And right now that's kind of unnecessary because we've only got one color per phenotype, but I want to make it possible that the same phenotype can lead to slight variations. And the way I should stop eating and talking. And I was going to make white spotting to test that. They've already got white spotting, but it doesn't do anything because it used to be in one of the older versions. I can find an older version. Oh wait. If we go back to, actually I think it's just the version right before this one. You're not allowed to see my coding terminal because it has my name in it. Yeah, see? This is the wrong one. It doesn't matter because I'm only showing you the colors, but still. Is the white spotting used to do something? Wait, bad example. Okay, can you not all be the same color, please? Besties. See, white spotting used to determine whether they had a white patch on their belly or whether they were all black, but since I've changed their variation to be based off of a solid color, whether they're brown or fawn, white spotting doesn't do anything right now. It's still in there, it just doesn't pop up or do anything. Like you can see they have W's for white spotting now, and they still have those. It just doesn't display anymore. And I want to make it so that they have genes, they have their white spotting genes, and that gives them the piebald phenotype, because that's just what you call animals with color patches, particularly white but not necessarily white. And so I wanted to make it so that there's just, in the white spotting phenotype, there are two different types of sprites that could apply to, and I want to make it so that the game randomly chooses one of them. So it'll go from genes, you get your there's like a handful of genes, you get one of those, and that leads to your one phenotype, and the phenotype leads to a handful of sprites, and you get one of those. Which is why it has to be in 3 tiers. Just to make things clearer for me, honestly. I like sections. But I've realized, actually let me set this back to the thing we're experimenting on so that I don't keep accidentally opening. Gosh, why did I name this section white spotting? That's so long. Okay, yeah. So what I realized is that the way that birds currently work with their sprite sheet is it's gonna be annoying. So I'm gonna see if I can change it a little bit, and this is either going to be I spend an hour fixing it, or I poke at it for 10 minutes and go, I can't change this, and do it the long way. but sprite sheets are like the most important aspect of this game because it is about, oh wow, look at all these cool patterns that they have, and the patterns are based off of the sprites being stacked on top of each other. So instead of actually doing that stuff with white spotting that I want to do, I'm just gonna make a sheet where I separate the beaks from their main colors, and then they can either have a black beak or a yellow beak. Where am I? Oh, I'm in the bird class. I don't need to be in the bird class. I need to be in the sprites. Yeah. I need to comment my code more often so I can stop figuring out what everything means. What's suitable after images or apparitions? I already said ghostly, so. Oh, ghostly after image apparitions. Okay. Ignore that. Here we have the line art, no, the colors and the line art, both which are set to be scaled down if they're a baby. Okay, what am I trying to do? I think if these are the same, then all I need to do is turn this into a necessary argument, and then I can just make these the same thing. Probably name it bird sprite. And I don't think they're present in different positions because there's no situation where I need the line art but not the colors. I might have to change some parts of the movement again because I'm pretty sure the rectangles for this are tied. It's like the rectangles for the lines are tied to the rectangles for the character, which are tied to the colors or something. I don't know. I spent a long time. Actually, I think I recorded that one. I'll rewatch my own stream because I didn't make any comments to figure out how that works. Okay, but our initialization. Okay, so the sprite sheet is the sprite sheet. And then you get an animation. Excuse me, we're checking you next. And you get your animation list based off of the sprite sheet. Sprite sheet, gets the animation list. And this matches this. The only difference is that we defined the lines by age, and we defined the colors by morph. There was a reason for that. Yeah, because we can't change. It's because we can't change the morph on the lines because they only have one. Because there's all the birds have the same lines. Cool. But that just means we can change this to if age is baby. Because other than that, they work the same. And then self-image equals image, self-rect is rect, xy, layers layer. Okay, interesting. You have a width and height from get width and get height, but you have one assigned to you. Why? Okay, well, we gotta go back. Okay, first let's change this and see if it still works, because it'd be great if that was the case. And then we can figure out why one of you has a width and height assigned to you while the other doesn't. Oh, you don't have an age assigned to you. What are your different arguments? Self, xy. You don't have an age. Then rect. You don't have width or height. Morph, action, frame, layer. Oh, this is gonna be so annoying. Time to hunt through the code for every existence of this. Wait, can't I can do that here and it'll send me on a magical adventure throughout the code, which was very off-putting and confusing when I didn't know that's what it was doing, but could be useful here. Okay, we're in the bird class. It's X, Y, and then age, right? Yeah. I think that's all of them. Let's see if it survives. Okay, we've got our birds in our various colors. We need a baby to see if... Okay, we've got a baby. And it is small. Okay, we didn't break anything. Honeydew, child of zucchini. These birds are so much oranger than intended. Maybe it's some effect of the blue-green background. I don't... Who knows? I know nothing about color theory, despite the hours and hours and hours of videos on color theory I've watched. Okay, So we didn't break it. So now we gotta figure out why we've assigned width and height to the lines, but not to. Oh, I think I know what it is. I bet it's self dot width comes from the lines. No, self dot width are assigned. Why do we make the lines find their own? Interesting. I bet I. Well, now I get the feeling I did it on impulse, and then it broke something, and then I fixed it in the colors, and then just didn't fix it in the lines because the lines weren't broken. I think we need width and height to make the sprite sheet code work. I got the sprite sheet code from Coding with Russ, so sometimes it takes my brain a second to yeah. Okay, so what happened is that I only gave the lines width and height because they needed them, and then I just made the width and height based off of their image on the sprite sheet because I do just know by heart what size that is, so I know everything's supposed to be that size. I could just make self dot width equals blank and take it off of both of them. Is there a situation where that would be detrimental to me later down the line? Because if I ever want to make them vary in size, I'll probably just scale them. Or is it sprite sheet dot sprite sheet image, and the sprite sheet image is the whole sprite sheet image converted for transparency. Okay, now self.spritesheet is the sprite sheet class. So where did I put self.spritesheet.getImage? Okay. Get image. Not on this page? Oh yeah, higher up on this page. Okay, so get image is part of the... Yeah, that makes sense. Let me do it by step counter, morph counter, height, width. That's... color. What's the one for? Step counter is the frame. Morph counter is the morph. Width, height, scale. Oh yeah, okay. My images are already scaled, so that's just 1 to 1. I wonder if making the baby smaller than this would do anything about their line heart being bad when small. Probably not, because it would still just make the line heart also smaller. Which is a good thing, because their skin wouldn't fit if it didn't. I'm going to have to change it if I ever add in things that aren't birds to this, but that's like a later prop. It's like, I'm honestly getting far enough that there are things that aren't birds in this dream. So really, I've already, I don't need, you guys don't need height or width, I don't think. Let's delete it and see what breaks. I feel like most of my coding lately is just me deleting stuff I realized I didn't need in the first place. Yep, just delete it all and see if it breaks. And then put it back and then see which parts specifically break it. No more width, no more height. Giving my code such a fright. Let's see what I've done. Hey bestie, do you still function? That sure is a bird who's got their sprites together. And if you have a baby, move, child. Thank you. And some of you might be looking at this child and thinking, gosh, it sure looks like their collisions are broken. Shut up. Okay, and if that was broken, it would have broken. It wouldn't have existed. We wouldn't have been, well, it would have existed, but we wouldn't have been able to see it because it wouldn't have any sprites. It has a sprite, so it's not broken. Ignore it, flying. Okay, so now these are truly identical. And there's no reason for them to be different things. Now, how do I do this? Okay, now I can put strings. I can put strings in it. So if I make this string a necessary argument. Am I getting a phone call? I am. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, I mean, pausing. Look at these birds. Hi, Ma. Does this I wonder how this works, because actually I think I bet it's you can hear me but my little avatar won't move. Oh wait, let me get back. Yeah, I was right. You can hear me but my little guy doesn't move because I gotta unmute on my other thing. Wait, I'm getting off another phone call. It'll be shorter this time so I don't have to leave. Dad? Okay, I'll save it as temporary. Okay, so the little guy should be moving. Yes. My dad's like, I don't have a new number. My number is just temporarily different. That sounds new to me. It sounds like I can't call you, Father. What were we talking about? Okay, so we deleted all that stuff we didn't need. Okay, so we're making this. We're gonna make a string, a necessary argument. I'm loud and clear because I'm holding my mic, but eventually I'll forget to do that and I'll go back to being nearly silent. Is like that? Is that obnoxious? I'll call this sheet. I don't think I'm pretty sure I'm not using sheet by itself for anything. Near the front because it's important. I have forgotten the name of the. It's move underscore sprite underscore something. Let's check. Move sprite lines and move sprite colors. Okay, that makes sense. So we put that here. What are we in? Bird lines. Let's change this into bird sprite. And we are just. Sorry, bestie. Goodbye. You're saved in like at least 4 of the other versions of this game that exist, so if we really need you, we'll call you. Where is the find and replace? Which of these arrows is the find and replace? I can never find it. There it is. Oh, it did all of them? It did 4 of them? Okay, it did these 3 and the ones at the top. Oh, can I put, if I put a string in here? Move sprite colors. Is it, what did I say? What did I say? Nope, I wrote out the entire word for some reason. Probably because I never thought I'd have to type it, because I would just copy as path and then paste it. This is gonna break so many things, but as long as it breaks in a way expected, I can live with that. And then that's the only instance of lines, I'm pretty sure, because why would we need more than one? This is gonna break. I need to go. Okay. Oh, what's your problem? Bird lines is not defined. Bird lines isn't supposed to be in here anymore. Ooh, it's so great that I have two things, one named bird sprite, one named bird underscore sprite. That will never cause any confusion. Hehe. Yeah, it broke. Okay, self.color. Oh, I gotta fix the reset. Oh, but based off of this error, I do know that, based off of this error, the putting a string in a string thing is working, because I've accidentally put in the either the X or the Y. I accidentally put in one of those as oh yeah, I accidentally put the Y, I think, in as the name of the sprite sheet because of these guys. Okay, so what happened is it tried to make this instance. Okay, it tried to make the instance. So it went to its initialization, which immediately went to self.reset, which is where everything is. And reset as an argument took itself, its X, its Y, its age, and its parent, which are all correct. Wait, let me look at, where'd you break? And then self.color is X, Y, sheet. And pygame.image. And the sprite sheet image is pygame.image.load sheet.png. And they're saying that there's no image 30 But that's the X, isn't it? Okay, why do you think the X is the sheet? Oh, it did break in a way I wasn't expecting. Interesting. It's always doing that. Crazy. Bestie, what are you talking about? Oh, cause you put sheet before the XY here, but after it there. Ah, I see. Well, you have like 4 of them and you have 1, so I'm gonna actually move you around here. Is that the proper? Yeah, XY sheet. XY sheet. Okay, so it should only break in understandable ways now. What happened? Oh, I need to add age into the color argument when it updates. Okay, wait, who's updating the sprites or the bird? Okay, in the bird. In movement and in AI movement, I need to add age to it. Where do I add it again? It's XY sheet then age. XY sheet and then age. Update. This is probably where this goes. We'll run it and see if something new breaks, and then we'll know for sure. Okay. Go, bird, go. I don't think you should break this time. You will, but like, I don't think you should. Their skin fell off. Now, why don't you have line art? Where did your lines go? Why do you simply just not have lines anymore? There's oh, cause I didn't change the image. Probably I didn't put. Yeah, it's move sprite lines actually. I guess now the question is, why did you have lines before? Yay, birds! We've got birds. They are moving. This is excellent. Are you the correct colors for your jeans? Yeah, you're definitely brown, and you're partially brown. And I gotta set this back up to show what my jeans are, cause it's. Give me a fawn. I do that in main. No, I can do it here too. If I do it at the bottom. This still won't show me if the colors are correct though, because the babies don't age. Well, good to have anyway. Fawn. Okay, cool. Your colors match your genotypes. Everything is great. Okay, we've simplified how sprites work. Yay! It was really annoying having two things that were pretty much identical, yet for some reason separate. Will you break if you have a child? Okay, we've simplified how sprites work. Move, child. Yay! Okay, we're going to just try to give them the possibility of different colored beaks to really lock in that I understand how sprites work. Which I'm going to have to change how this works because I can't have like all of this every single time I could make a method called find genotype. That's not doing anything. And we're gonna take all this stuff it needs to take the argument. It needs the bird and parent one. Parent 2. We don't have it. Okay. We don't have a list of phenotypes because we don't. We are gonna have to make a find phenotype thing too, though, aren't we? This is probably going to get moved to somewhere else when there are more genes, but that's later. So, we're just stealing this. Where was I? Down here. Find genotype. Oh, okay. Is self.parent2 in here? Is it just automatically set to player? Oh, self.parent2 equals none. Can't have that. So far out there. its own list. And we put these two lists in our list. And we import random again because we need it again. Oh, random, my favorite thing to import. And we turn this into parent 2. And so the genotype is set to this, which will return a list, which will return a list which will have these two lists in it for the base genes and the white genes. And then this is going to get really, really long, and will eventually, I will go, gosh, this is too long, and turn it into its own thing, but not yet. Why did I do this? Oh, because this would get too long here, and I need to do another thing for the phenotypes, but I gotta make sure that I haven't broken the genes yet. Okay, you sure are birds. You sure do appear to have genes, and I can look at your genes, and they're both the same gene, because you're both fawn, and that's recessive. And if you have a little baby who will either be fawn or heterozygous, because I'm heterozygous. That's a lowercase f, right? It's not like something crazy like a W. Yeah, okay, so the baby is heterozygous, and we can see the gene, and nothing appears to be broken. And that's a plausible thing for a baby between these two birds to be. Let's see if we can get a fawn baby. Okay, and that's a fawn baby. Nothing's broken. Oh, interesting that it did that, considering I didn't save my changes. So what was it even doing then? Who knows what code was running in that strange little thing's head? Have a baby. This baby should be fawn because both its parents are, and it is. And if you have a baby, your baby should be, oh, it could be fawn, but it could also be heterozygous. Heterozygous. Now let's try and have a fawn baby with you. I need to fix this menu so that it can close itself. Oh, we're slowing down as I get too many babies on screen. Okay, start over. Okay, okay, well everybody's fine, so we're not gonna figure anything out. Honestly, it clearly has to be working. We're just gonna accept that it's working, okay? If we find out it's broken later, we find out it's broken later, okay? That's a later problem. Let's put the phenotype thing in the same thing as the genotype thing, because we're already gonna have to move everything in there out of there at some point, so might as well be prepared. Okay, so we're gonna make a method to find the phenotype. Okay, so we're gonna make a method to find. Oh, let's not put you next to here. I'm doing this without even music in the background. Like, how do people live like this? Okay, to find the phenotype, we need to know the genotype, basically. Can I make I don't think I can make a list in argument, can I? I don't think I can make a list in argument, can I? Let's move this around a bit so I can figure out what's happening in it. I need to make an iterative list. I hereby solemnly swear that I won't let any of my genes have the same stand-in letters so that I can just simply iterate over the entire list. Okay, so what we have here is it going into the genotype, and which has two lists in it, and looking at that first list and seeing if it has capital F. Then it goes into And we haven't made the other one yet. We haven't made anything for white spotting urban color. In the phenotype, would be a list of things like fawn, yellow, white spotting that we go through. Okay, so we just need to get rid of this section, which means we are gonna at some point have to make another one to deal with all of this stuff, because it would also get ridiculously long. So another one to like find color or whatever. It would be like find color, and in that it would give us the morph based off of the phenotype. Yeah. Okay, so we're trying to figure out how to turn. We're turning this, just this. We're turning this into a method because we're gonna have to do it 50,000 times. Can I just, well, let's find out if we can make a list or an argument. You never know until you try, and then it goes, what are you doing? And then you're like, I can't do that. And let's just fully steal this and fix it later, because it should, because it's not well written the way it is now. It's not like gonna work out long term the way it's written now. Okay, let's open you because we are stealing my own work. Tab. Okay, I think that's what we want. Oh, we gotta return. There's a U in this word. Return. Okay, now we find out if we're allowed to make list arguments or not. And if not, life is pandemonium. We can? Cool, yay! Programming's cool and fun, and I've never said it was a torture method created by sadists. Woo! Have a baby. The baby's not broken. They're genes. They're genes. They work. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to add the beaks, and then the big event is I'm going to try and make white spotting have two possible. Oh, I'm gonna have to go drawing. But I'm gonna try and make white spotting have two possible results. They'll be the same phenotype, but they can be two different sprites, and we'll see what happens. Shout out to white spotting, which is just part of the code, but not expressed in any way. Should I name this beak or skin? Let's name it skin. Coal, in case we do more stuff with the beak, which we probably will. But now to choose letters for it. I'm going to call them black and yellow. Because the only things I can think of, it would be, because if I make black feathers a thing, I'm gonna have it be a recessive melanistic trait, and I'll probably name it ML. And if I make, like, I don't know, yellow eyes a thing, I'll just call them gold and do something with G's. So I think black B and Y are up for grabs. So we don't have nothing with codominant. Wait, which of these am I going to make dominant and which of these am I going to make recessive? Let's see, last time I made a generator. There's my generator. No one worry about the generator. I made yellow dominant and black recessive. But to be fair, I also made fawn dominant. How's it work in chickens? Because anytime I'm just heavily stealing from pigeons and chickens constantly, so. Skin and shin color, genetic, chicken is straightforward. The century are now recessive, or gene or polygenetics, only shape. Two traits by three, others by four, and all affected by unidentified thread mind working theory. Okay, this is a simplification. Well, what was it my teacher used to say? All models are inaccurate, but some are useful when it comes to biology. Yellow or white is present both deeper level and skin color at a reddish tone. Second, yellow skin. Yellow skin is recessive. Okay, so like in that model, I just made recessive traits dominant in that model I made because I thought they were pretty cool. White skin is dominant. Oh, okay, so chickens are yellow and pink, I guess. Oh no, chickens come in way too many colors. Ooh, wing patterns. That sounds. So close to. Oh, inhibitors. Dermomelatin is a recessive sex-linked gene controlled by 5 different alleles. Is the difference between willow and yellow? Okay. So brighter colors are more dominant. And it's the difference between white and yellow. Okay, so we're not doing white, but yellow does seem to be dominant over black. So we're making yellow dominant over black. Okay, now that we're done reading about chickens, now that we're done simplifying chicken genetics to inaccurate extremes, we can just make yellow beaks dominant over black. I'm pretty sure I already made the beak sprites. I did. And since we're making yellow dominant, that means we get a Y. Okay, look at your past work. Remember how this works. So it's yellow. And then this is also yellow. And this is black. Okay, I think my brain has been pushed to the point that I can listen to music in the background. Y'all don't get to hear it, but I'll probably end up singing to it. Because I'm just doing things that I've done before and that I'm fairly confident in my ability to do again. So I think I can listen to music in the background without forgetting my own name or whatever it is that happens to me every time I try to code and listen to music at once. That's too loud. There we go. So, we have the genes. We have to implement them. Oh, I already need to do something about this. It's already... I should put my earbuds in so I don't get my entire stream copyright struck out of existence. I mean, I can't monetize anyway, it's probably fine, but still. So, I guess another one of these methods that's just like find colors. Because that's ultimately what's happening here. We're getting self.color. We're also getting self.morph, but we're using that to get self.color. I guess another one of these methods that just like find colors. Do we need self.morph for something else? Will I break it if I take it out of here? We're also getting self.morph, but we're using that to get self.color. Do we need self.morph for something else? Will I break it if I take it out of here? Okay, we don't need self.morph. Okay, we only need self.morph to figure out self.color because self.lines doesn't change, only has one morph. Ooh, the beaks have two morphs though. Well, let's just make it and then work from there. Self.colors is a sprite. Interesting. Actually, we need to look at this. This doesn't. This all the babies look the same, so that's nothing. See, okay, so like, oh, I'm gonna have to break so much for this, but it's better to do it now than after there's already 1,000 of these that I have to wrangle. Cause if I put the bird sprite in the get colors, which I'll have to, because that's what it is. I can make, it's like I can make the color into a list of color sprites. Okay, and why would I add those? And why would I add, okay, and why would I add, wow, we've already gotten to the I can't listen to music anymore stage. I got one song. Okay, and then we add to the, and then we like, for length of list, just keep adding all the sprites we've made to bird sprite. And bird sprite is, where is this? Where's bird sprite stored? That's like in the sprite sheet or something. No, it used to be, and then I realized I didn't need it to be in there. But where is it now? Okay, it's up here. Am I importing it? From sprites, import bird sprite. Okay, it is in here. Okay, right. So what the code does, let's go all the way back to main. What the code does is it draws the player. The player is a bird in the bird class. It draws them. When we create the player, we make a whole bunch of things and adds them to the bird sprite list. And the bird sprite list draws everything in that list. It makes sprites and adds them to the list. And it will clear. And when it clears sprites, it clears the whole list. Oh, I'm about to knock over everything I own. Okay, and when it clears sprites, it clears everything from that list. Okay, what does this even have to do with beaks? And when it clears sprites, it clears the whole list. Oh, I'm about to knock over everything I own. Okay, and when it clears sprites, it clears everything from that list. Do they need to be added in the bird class, or can I add them? Okay, so the bird class is importing the sprites, which has the sprite list. Do they need to be added in the bird class, or can I add them? And because it's importing the sprite list, it can add things to it. The only thing this is importing are just like the variables and the start over button and the sprite sheet, but it's the only thing that uses the sprite sheet, so that's understandable. So if I import this into the... Can I import this? I don't think can I import this into Genes? Okay, the only thing Genes is importing from is random, so I can import it. So if I import this into the... I'm making sure I don't have a loop, an import loop that will make me not able to import anything. Because you need to import the list to be able to draw the list. But if I have you also import the list, will that break anything? I don't know, that's not a loop. What? What's it called? From sprites import bird sprite, I think? Yeah, that's the name of it. Okay, so now that we've got that all spick and span, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a list of all the colors. Okay, we're gonna make a list of all the colors list of all the colors we get from the phenotype, and then like we'll go through the list, adding them. Do we need a list? Let's make a list just in case we need a list. I'd rather have a list that's not being used yet than later be like, oh man, I gotta put all these things in a list. Time to append to 70 lines of code. So making a list. Checking it twice. Do we need self.color if we're making this brighten? What if I just delete everything here? The call of the void is so strong. We are importing genes into the bird class, which means that we cannot import the bird class into genes, which means that we cannot take the age over there. Oh, I named it find, not get. I'm gonna have to change so much stuff. It's a good thing I did this. It's a good thing I did this and found out it was difficult now and not when there were 50 different things to sort out. So I will not just reverse it and ignore it, because this is an important mechanic and I do have to make it actually work. Oh no, this is old, okay. Okay, this old version doesn't have children, but the existence of the children are just confusing me anyway. So what we're doing is we're looking at the phenotype, and we're checking that first list in the phenotype. This will be either brown or fawn. Jesus. I can't actually see my keyboard from the angle I'm typing at, if you can't tell. Brown. This is actually too old to be useful. Don't save. We need self-morph and self-color. you stored? In sprites? Yeah. Oh, you're both in there, huh? Can we just put this here? Why were they separate in the first place? Oh, but we do need this to be a thing. Okay, we're trying to make a list, and then we want to go through that list. We're trying to make a list of sprites. We are trying to make a list of sprites, and then we go through that list of sprites, and we will add them all to the bird sprite layer group so that they can be drawn. Oh, and actually I stole this from the... Oops, Control Z. I stole this from... Control Z. Okay, I stole this from the babies, so actually if they're brown, their morph would be 0. You know what? Fine. Let's leave the defaults as baby so we can see if something breaks. I don't think I need all of these. But I don't know which ones I do need, so teehee. Oh wait. You have to have XY sheet age rec morph. We need morph because that's a thing that can change on initialization. But action always starts at 0 because you're just standing there. Frames should always start at 0. And honestly, I'm too scared to do anything with your layers. And to input this stuff into you, we need the phenotype. We need the X, we need the Y. We don't need sheet. We need the age, we need the rectangles, and we need the morph. Go, my angel of darkness. Break for me, my beloved. And all you have to say is that I forgot a comma when I made my list of genes. Can you talk to me about the new thing I coded being broken? And all you have to say is that I forgot a comma when I made my list of genes. Oh, that's interesting. It broke on player movement. I didn't move the character. Okay, so it's self.color. Self.color.update is broken, which I knew would break. So now I have to remember how it works. This should have been broken because color and lines aren't a thing anymore, are they? I just made them both sprite. Or no, because I had them named bird color and bird lines before, so color and lines is something else. Oh no, because self.color equals a sprite, and self.lines is a different sprite. No, because I had them named bird color and bird lines before. But self.color doesn't exist anymore. Oh no, because self.color equals a sprite, and self.lines is a different sprite. So I have to. But self.color doesn't exist anymore. So I have to. And you have to make sure you return. This is gonna be so annoying once I add literally any other colors to it, which I have to do because these birds come in 2 colors. This is gonna be so annoying once I add literally any other colors to it, which I have to do because these birds come in 2 colors. Okay, so return the list. This is now a list. Which will mess up updating. I don't know, I can't think. Let's let it break and then... Let's save first and then let it play and see how it breaks. Yeah, we can't update a list. I wonder if I could just, like... Is that acceptable? Okay, but that's not a sprite, is it? What's in this list, actually? What did we put in the list? Okay, yeah, the list has one sprite in it right now. Which is... It's a list with a singular sprite in it that will eventually be a list with multiple sprites in it. Should I be making a sprite group instead? I don't think I remember how to make a sprite group. I think my brain's gonna fall out. Can I update the... we have it, it updates when it moves and when it, and then this is when it hits the ground to make it go back to standing still. And then there's another one of those in the NPC movement. Okay, our problem. Why am I trying to make a new I already have a group. So why am I making another one? Ooh, I don't like stopping things when I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get back, though. I think I need a break to think this out, but I also don't like leaving when I don't have a plan of entry, because then that's how things get abandoned. Okay. We need... What's the update even do? Updating changes what self.image is. How the fuck does it do that? And self.image is based off of whatever the sprites. Self.image is based off of whatever the sprites tell it is. Why are these always highlighted? I'm not highlighting you. Phone's dying. Self.image is not even in here. Oh, right. No, self.image is... Okay, right. Yeah, the birds don't have images, only their sprites do, and their sprites are just attached to the empty circle that is them. And by drawing the layered updates, which I believe is in bird class draw, and then that just draws all of the sprites that are in my group. And what self.color does is it tells the sprites to change their image. And we already know that we can import genes into here. So if I change self.color into genes.color, then we could have self.color is the name of the sprite. So if we move, but we don't need the sprite over there. If we get rid of self.color and have the sprite update, if we have the sprite update in genes instead, then we'll have the genes tell the that only okay if no, because genes only loads when it's specifically, that would only load if we specifically called it to load. But we could do that. Or every place where we say self.update, instead we just put find colors. If everywhere we have self.update, we replace with find colors, and then we have find colors make an updated sprite, because right now we have find colors make a sprite, correct? Yeah. And we just get rid of self.color. see what we break. And if this works, then I will know what I'm doing next time, which is just adding those beak colors I wanted to add, and then we will add white spotting, which will be 2 different possibilities based off of one phenotype. I should probably be paying more attention to what I'm doing to make sure I'm not messing up the subtle nuances between the NPCs and the player bird, but my brain melted out of my ears like 20 minutes ago, so that's really just gotta be a next time sort of consideration. And we're not fixing the babies because don't feel like it. Oh, we're just okay, so this will break if we ever make any children, but we just gotta not do that. X is not defined. Is this gonna break our positioning again? Ooh, I don't even want to begin to know what X and Y is for you, because it certainly can't be what I want it to be. I might have to change what X and Y are on this. This might break movement, but if it can exist long enough to break movement, that's still a win when you think about it. Okay, cool. Yeah, they have line art. Now, I don't know what broke there, but they do exist. So interesting. Oh, it's constantly deleting and remaking them. That's interesting. Cool, okay. That's really good though. I can see that they're breaking when they hit the ground. And I know where that is in here. Oh, I didn't save. Have I already fixed it? Oh, you went, uh-oh. Okay, and I was right. It does need. That's so interesting. Where's my collision? Where are my collisions? There are my collisions. My Y collisions. So when it hits the ground, it goes to find colors. Okay, I've got to fix the XY rectangle loop again, just like I have to every time I do anything to the sprites. But I've done it before, so I do believe it's possible for me to do again, so I will not stress about it. And I think that is all for today. I should have done what I usually done, made a little development copy so I could at least like open it and just like look at the birds walk around. Now I can't do that because they're glitching out like crazy. But c'est la vie. Ta-ta, toodaloo.